ambassador. He's Mr. Aydin Nurhan. He's currently in Ankara, and he and I will talk about this in more detail. Aydin, thanks for joining me here on A News. Always good to see you. Can you hear me okay? Excellent, excellent. Aydin, how important is this? I mean, if things change drastically and Le Pen wins, what does that mean for the rest of the world? What does it mean for Europe? What does it mean for Turkey?
Let's start with what you just said. Age of uncertainty.
Yes.
We are in an age of uncertainty. And is Russia in decline? Is the Western world in decline? Is the economy going east? These are the valid questions of the day, of course. People everywhere are asking these. First of all, what we see in the United States and in Europe, what we call in Turkey, kaht-ı rical. There are no strong leaders in the Western world anymore. Look, Biden is shaking his hand in the air. They could find him. Look at France. These radicalists everywhere. So, and let me tell you, this lady, Le Pen, her father denied the Holocaust. She said, no, I'm not with my father. But a lot of her voters are the voters of her father. So what we see in Europe, especially France, is this. We know the left, classical left parties, socialist parties, remember them. The workers, the labor classes used to vote for them. Today what happens is exactly the opposite. The labor is not against the big capital anymore. The labor is against the foreigners. What that means is national socialism.
Indeed.
And you know what that means.
Yeah,
Hitler.
exactly.
National socialism. Marine Le Pen is proposing national socialism. She is with the poor. She wants to defend their rights against. Once upon a time, it was the Jews. Now it's the Muslims. So this is the most serious question for France. She wants to close 570 mosques. Of the 100, they have already closed what? 25%, I think. Mm-hmm. So it's going there. Why? As Putin said, as the economy goes bad, it will affect the middle classes, and the middle classes losing their economic status will turn against the foreigners. And Le Pen says, I will change the constitution so that I'll have priority for the French in looking for business, not the foreigners, which means other races, which is already happening in France. This is a very serious point. Now, for Turkey and the EU and NATO, Le Pen, again, we go with Le Pen first. Already, France has real big troubles with Turkey. So it will continue when she comes. No doubt about that. She's against the EU. She softened it, but she will trim a lot of common legal issues, etc. So it will be Frexit in a way, as the news writes. That's important. From NATO, French membership in NATO, as you know from history, was always troublesome. France wants to be free in many effects. But I think they are right in one thing. United States, is using NATO for its ultimate interests. And France doesn't want to be an instrument in that. We are in the same boat with France, that NATO shouldn't be American interest only. It should be for the common interests of all the parties. There we are together. Now, another
is Le Pen more NATO-oriented or anti-NATO-oriented?
She's anti-NATO, of course. In a lot of ways. I mean, she will go. She'll be going soft, of course. She won't have a radical break. And after the elections, June elections in France, we will see a stronger National Socialist movement in France, with the other parties joining her, etc. So it will be a very, very interesting election in June. Another thing is, I would love Le Pen win. I really, sincerely want Le Pen to win. I also want another party in Austria, again, a National Socialist Party, win. Why? Because they will be the vaccination, the inoculations for us, the other world, especially the Muslims, to see what is coming. And many years back, when I was an ambassador in Afghanistan, I gave a big dinner party. All the European ambassadors, Afghan top politicians, etc., were at my dinner. And I said, I hear the footsteps of the second Holocaust. Wow. This time, the Muslim Holocaust. And one of the European ambassadors, a friend of mine, has said at the table, oh, come on, Aydin is exaggerating. I am not exaggerating.
Okay.
It may come.
Aydin, we've just heard, sorry, Aydin, I'm going to cut you there, sorry about that. We've just heard that it looks like the votes are coming through, and Macron has, in fact, secured 58.2% of the votes. It looks like he is staying put. Le Pen is in with 41.8. Now, with that knowledge, now you know that Macron is more than likely to be the next president, or the remaining president. How do you see things lining up for relations?
Now, yes. Now, the 1%, the Americans protest in the United States, as you may remember. That 1% is against the billionaires and trillionaires in the US. Mm-hmm. So Macron is their man. The Yellow Vest movement will gain momentum in France. Macron is not a good, strong leader for our times. So this time, he'll stumble. He'll not be able to show strong leadership within the EU, nor in France. Hard time is waiting with the French people. Wait for the June elections, and then you will see. Because this time, the important thing is this. This time, the French had to choose from the better of the two evils.
Right.
But in June, where there will be 4 or more parties, then we will see the challenge for Macron. As things go bad, which will be going bad, especially with the Ukrainian war, and of course, pandemic. So things are not going to get better soon. Then Macron, I predict that he is going to have a real tough time. Another thing for Macron, laïcité. This is, I think, important for our viewers to note. I had read it somewhere, and I like it. Long time ago, I had read it. American laïcité is for protecting religion from the state. That's what American Constitution is. French laïcité is for protecting the state from religion, which is a historical experience of the French. So with the French governments, it is the state that has to be protected from the religions. And the religion is Islam.
Indeed.
This is the worst. And then if they force this, it means migrations will start from France. They already scared global capital. If I had $1 billion, would I go to Europe or the US with that money? With the fear that they would just snatch it from me tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who can guarantee that? Nobody can guarantee it anymore. So the capital is starting to fly away from the Western world. Add to it anti-Islamic rhetoric. The Western world is shooting itself in the heel. Mm-hmm. So this is another very important point I think we can say.
But Aydin, won't countries like Turkey and perhaps other Islam countries or Muslim countries, won't they have any influence on Macron, help him push away from this Islamophobia?
No way.
No?
I mean, it's France. It's not Macron. This is France per se, the philosophy of it, coming from the French Revolution. They had their own problem with the Catholic Church. So it's a historical trend. You cannot stop it. That's why I say I fear the second Holocaust.
Right.
And in this, we are in the same boat with the Jews. They should understand that it may happen again. After Muslims, they will be turning to the Jews again. Don't take this lightly. I am serious. Mm-hmm. So the Jews are in the same boat with the Muslims.
But why? We seem to have gone full circle. What, I mean, in a year, just a few years ago, we were all talking about equality and freedom of speech and individual rights and humanitarian rights. And it